Bordering Route 101 in Kittery, Maine, is the Russellwood Dairy Farm. Built on Russellwood's roadside acreage is Greenlaw Gardens. The 4 acres that make up Greenlaw Gardens are organically farmed by Rick Greenlaw and Holly Johnson Greenlaw to produce fresh, local, and sustainably minded produce for restaurants in Kittery, South Berwick, Newmarket, Portsmouth, and Boston.
We started farming in her grandmother's old garden, mainly just to have some food for ourselves, but also we wanted to put a little farm stand out there. When we got to a point where we had too much produce for the farm stand to keep up with as far as demand goes, we reached out to the local restaurants, and that's when we started working with them, because we got some responses of, hey, you know, we'd like you to bring in some of your product so we can check it out, and things kind of blossomed from there. Our goal here at Greenlaw Gardens is to produce food in a responsible, sustainable way, using the natural resources that we have right here, just like good soil, sunshine, rain, and just producing a good quality product that we can take pride in. The main crops that we grow, I'd say the pillars are carrots, greens, and tomatoes. But we do a fair amount of squash also, both summer and winter. Culinary herbs are a big thing for us, like chives, thyme, parsley, sage.
These all went in 2013. Those ones to the right went in last year. And they just keep coming back every spring, you know. Next to it, we're going to plant chives for this year. So the goal is I'd like to have this whole block be all chives eventually. So this is like the herb garden, I guess.
We grow organically, we're not certified. So our biggest source of fertility here, I'd say, is manure. And second to that, we do a lot of compost. And third to that is I use actually expired fish feed. It works great. It's just like how the Native Americans used to plant fish with the corn, and that's because it's a good source of nitrogen, along with potassium and phosphorus. Any pesticides that we use are certified organic, but we use very little of those. Mainly we just try to grow crops that don't have as much pest pressure. When you're growing organically, it's like a big mixer with all these dials, like in a sound room, and you have to try to like balance them all out. It's not just like with the commercial fertilizer you can dump a lot of something in all at once. It's like you have to kind of just maintain a slow and steady course with things. And so it's in addition to like the whole fertility side of things, as far as having enough compost in the soil and enough nitrogen and stuff like that, it also, a lot of it's also just like keeping the quality of the soil good in certain spots by reducing erosion, which can be done like planting a cover crop so you don't have like bare soil in the middle of winter, because then you've got, you know, 6 months of heavy rain and snow that are going to wash it all away, and that's kind of what happens on the higher parts of the land that are more prone to erosion. Over the years, that topsoil just gets washed down the hill, so you've got really nice soil in some parts and then like really rocky soil up on the high ground. So we really tried, in addition to keeping the soil fertile, to keep it like protected in, you know, prone spots like that. It's kind of all about doing enough to the soil but not overdoing it, finding that balance really. I think that's kind of where we're at with our customers, is there's just like a level of trust where they know we're not going to spray stuff on the vegetables that we wouldn't, you know, jeopardize anyone's health for, you know, a little better result, a little better productivity out of a crop, because we eat this stuff too, you know, at home, so we're not going to put anything on it that we wouldn't eat ourselves. I think small farms are going to play a bigger and bigger role in the coming years, because I think just some things don't make sense the way we do them now. You know, it doesn't make sense to have these huge fields where you're just planting the same thing every year and stripping your soil bare, and then the next generation has nothing to plant in. I feel like we're shooting ourselves in the foot for the long game, you know. I think that we've definitely taken food for granted for like a long time in this country, as far as like this idea that abundance is the new norm. Like we've always just had everything we wanted whenever we want it, and over time that's led to supermarkets where you go in and you get your food and it's probably all from 2,000 miles away, and you're never going to meet the person that grows it. And I really think that I think a big reason why people go to farmers markets and stuff like that now and get enrolled in CSAs, I mean, it's about the food definitely, and it's about the better quality produce, but it's also about like part of the experience. And you see people like bring their kids to these farmers markets, and you can see that the parents really want to like instill this in their kids, like this appreciation for farmers, because in generations past, I think the profession was kind of looked down upon as just like a last resort thing. Like if other things didn't work out in your life, well, you could always go and be a farmer. And now I think people are starting to view it more of as like something to choose and be proud of the choice, and especially if you are doing things in a responsible way, in a sustainable way, and doing things in a way that kind of gets the community involved and gets more people interested in what you're doing. And maybe one of those people goes off and starts their own farm because of some inspiration or something, then I think that's great. And I think that's something that we definitely need more of, and it seems to be going in that direction for sure.